Ma'am, as a woman judge of the Supreme Court of India,
Yeah.
did you ever feel any kind of gendered bias from your colleagues from the bar in this particular, duration of journey in the Supreme Court of India? And do you think such kind of bias has completely departed from the apex court, if ever it existed there?
Shall we make it a bit larger, Devan, by saying that when it comes to feeling the gender angle that from the high courts too, then that's how we go up the thing. So we're not talking of 3 years. Maybe we are talking for a window of 20 years,
Okay.
right? When you enter the system. So initially, one does find that sometimes, and I'm not generalizing because I've had all kind of supportive men colleagues who have helped me in my journey, and others who have not helped me and kept a fine distance. That there is, and that not just colleagues but also lawyers, that you have to work that extra hard to prove your point, to prove yourself as serious, to be taken as seriously as you think you should be taken. Much lies in your own hand also, because it is how you conduct yourself. If you are going to be frivolous or you're going to be light, well, the other person will perhaps reciprocate in the same way. It's your call. But then again, there are people who would think that maybe, as a woman, give her lighter work, lighter jurisdictions, stuff like that, which would be not so heavy. Maybe not really constitutional issues, or not maybe get them so much into full benches, in high courts, full benches, 3 judges benches, compared to men, which I think is not fair, which shouldn't be. Well, speaking for myself, I think except for 2 full benches, I never got to sit in that in so many years, and more than 2. One was a 5 judges one, where there was a issue relating to IPR, which had to be resolved. So I was there perhaps because we had delivered a judgment on which I was part of it, which needed to be clarified, and one more perhaps, but not more than that. So why not? I don't see that if you're a lawyer and you've done it all, or you've seen it all, then you're equally competent to handle it when you're a judge. There's nothing wrong with asking to be given heavier benches, benches with heavier work, with constitutional issues to be thrashed out. It's happening now, I'm seeing, and I'm happily seeing it in the high courts. So the other biases would be, like for example, if there is an official function in the courts, and there are plenty of it that we have to conduct and hold. So who would be the go-to person for the menu? A lady judge. So why would it be a lady judge? Isn't that men eat as much, or what a variety they have vis-a-vis a woman? It should not be a woman judge. It should be a judge. Maybe a committee comprising of a male and a woman, but not that it would come on the shoulders of a woman merely because she would know better about what's to cook. I shouldn't be made to feel like that. And if you make a point, they understand. Sometimes men don't understand. It comes to them naturally. Perhaps they've not been brought up in that manner of, they accept it as a norm. I'm not blaming them, but somebody has to tell them. So if you're willing to tell them, then sometimes you're willing to take cudgels also for what you stand for. And they respect you. But then you must command that respect. And that comes from you.
Again, did it happen with you?
A couple of times in the High Court, yes. Some important committees, the other said, vocalized it. There were several committees that we have in courts to run the courts.
We are talking of Delhi High Court.
Delhi High Court specifically. That was my large experience. I had a little lesser experience as Chief Justice there, but then there are different norms. So why would you not be part of important building maintenance committees or building construction committees that needed the input, infrastructure and all that? Merely because you're a woman? No, you have your experience that you carry with you. That should be put to use, that should be implemented. So it need not be women's committees as in women-centric committees, juveniles, children, family courts. Why? Why can't it be purely IPR? It's happening now. It wasn't happening then. Or purely arbitrations, or purely commercial matters. It should come as easily to you as to any male colleague. You have done that work in different phases of your life as a lawyer. So those are things which once they're brought out, many don't want to bring it out. Others are reluctant. Some aren't. So it depends on how you are and how much you're willing to take on.
At the risk of being called to, blamed for hammering the point, but, when you were approached for deciding the menu, how did you respond to it?
I think I simply said we have a committee which is meant to do this work. So let it be bounced off the committee. It comprises of both men and women, so they can take a call on it. For everything, there's a committee. So for this also, there's a committee.
That made the point.
So it works. And not that there was any resistance. We all agreed that there was a committee that had to do it, and the committee would do a good job of it.